Hey everybody, what's up? This is Devin LaVore and
Michelle LaVore
coming at you with a little Relationship Mondays.
Yay.
And relationships are important, right? Relationships are what make the kingdom go around, you know?
Yeah.
You know, they talk about money makes the world go around. It really isn't. It's relationships. Yeah. You know, even in the unsaved world, even in whatever culture you're in, it's all about relationships and who you're connecting with and why you're connecting with them. You can have healthy relationships. You can have unhealthy relationships.
Yeah.
You know, you can have your codependent relationships where I'm getting something from you and you're getting something from me, but it's really unhealthy what we're both getting from each other.
Yeah.
Or you can have a healthy relationship. And I guess I wanted to lay a foundation.
Yeah.
Talk about like, well, what's a healthy relationship? A healthy relationship is a relationship that's based on personal value. That person truly values you. Like Michelle said in another video, the romantic video thing that we did is like, if the person's interested in you, they'll be interested in you.
Yeah.
And then they will ask questions, they'll seek, they'll ask, they'll knock on your door, they might send you a text.
Yeah.
Anyway. But the bottom line is they're going to show interest in you. They're going to show their level of value in you by how much they're coming after you.
Yeah.
It's the exact same way we do with God. You know, if you're just a pew sitter, you don't really have value in that relationship with God. You're just a religious church sitter.
Yeah.
And even though God loves you immensely, there can't be both coming together.
Yeah. It's the whole love pursues.
Right.
And pursue love.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good teacher.
Anyway, you're hilarious. So there, you have a personal value, and then you have humility. You know, and one of the great things, I could say tons about humility, but I really feel like the Lord wants me to say that one of the great things about humility is it is lacking judgment. Because the truth of the matter is, no matter what relationship you're in, you're going to have a relationship that has its own set of issues and its own set of issues.
Yeah.
But there's not going to be a judgment of those issues. See, with humility comes compassion. It's like, oh man, you deal with that. How can I help? Oh, if I don't know how to help, maybe just let me listen to you. Maybe, you know what I mean? Humility, it comes with compassion and mercy. And as you describe humility, you will start to see the characteristics of Jesus himself. Yeah. Which is why a lot of people, when they're seeking to get married, they look for Jesus in their spouses, you know. Another one of the elements of a healthy relationship is, I think, personally, a healthy relationship is fun. It produces fun times, and just, you don't have to be doing this certain thing to enjoy each other. Yeah. You can just be whatever, you know, you could be sitting on the couch. I don't know how many times when I was growing up with my friends, we were just liking to hang out with each other. But it was just like, we'd be sitting on the couch going, so what do you want to do, man? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? Yeah. It didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
It didn't matter, you know? So healthy relationships invest into one another. Healthy relationships build each other up. You know, like the scripture says about prophecy, that it should be building you up, edifying you and exhorting you and all that. That doesn't mean it doesn't come with some harsh words and correction and all that stuff. Yeah. Even the Proverbs say, a friend, when you're just drunk on your selfishness and pride, a good friend be like, hey, you know, what are you doing, man? You know, other people will be like, ooh, they're like, I'm just going to go away, you know, which is what an unhealthy response would be. So all that to lay the foundation of, like, those are some pictures of what a healthy relationship looks like. And I guess based on the title of this video, you got to know when to cut it off. If you have like 1 out of 10 of those elements operating in a relationship, you need to just cut it off. You know what I mean? It's like one of the healthy things. Oh, okay. You know, if you got 1 out of the 10, and like the other 9 out of 10 are really unhealthy things, then you've got to cut the relationship off. Because, like, what would you say are some signs of an unhealthy relationship?
Well, I definitely think, like, an unhealthy relationship is if there is, I don't know if it produces in you anxiety, if there's, like, if you feel that there's no reciprocation, like if it's always you trying to
gosh.
move a relationship along.
And if you don't do it, it won't move.
Yeah.
That is not healthy.
Then it's like, no, you don't need that in your life. Because honestly, then it's like the other person's basically saying they don't want you in their life because there is no back and forth. You know, relationships
There's no interest.
Yeah, there's no interest.
Baby.
And there's the baby. Yeah, to go get him. Just woke up from his nap. But some other aspects of the unhealthy relationships can be if you're in a relationship and there seems to be cycles. Now, these cycles can vary. But let's just say it's a cycle where the person is continually maybe trying to manipulate you into doing things. That's unhealthy.
Using you for what they can get out of you.
Yeah.
They only come around when they need something. We all have some of those.
Yeah.
Or have had.
Yeah.
You know?
I think
What's wrong, buddy?
that can be a relationship that can need to get cut off. And really, as with everything, you need to always be taking things to the Lord, because God is going to let you know if there are relationships that do need to change in your life.
Switcheroo.
Yep.
Bam. That's the magic of editing.
Yes.
Continue.
So yeah, but as with every relationship, you need to take it before the Lord. And the truth is, God, He might just be asking you to try certain elements in a relationship. If God is saying, hey, you know what, I need you to pull back from a relationship because maybe He has a something that He needs to do in you, or you might not know. Like, you could have unhealthy ties. This can happen a lot with families. You get married and you don't break ties with your family, and so your family actually has more sway than your spouse.
I've seen that happen many times.
And so God might be asking you, hey, you got to break those ties in your heart. That doesn't mean that you're going to never talk to your family again or things like that. But He might take you through a time where it's like, all right, we need to dismantle this because it's getting in the way of what's going on and what He wants to do.
Yeah.
So those are just a couple of the things that I've thought of. But what about you?
Well, I was thinking, like, if you have dependency upon the person, a dependent relationship can't grow.
Yeah.
It just can't. It's not healthy because there's some deep need inside of you that you're trying to get that person to fulfill that they'll never be able to fill.
Yeah.
That's unhealthy. Now, I'm not saying that all of these are necessarily things that are like cutoff points, but at the same time, yeah, they can be. Because it's like, if it's not going to change, if the issue's not going to be recognized and you're not going to grow from it, you're not going to, I see what's going on here. This is an unhealthy aspect of the relationship. Let's both recognize it and move forward from it. That's totally different.
Yeah.
It's like knowing when to cut it off is when it's just not going to change.
Yeah.
It's not going to be any different. I've had very significant relationships in my life that the Lord Himself told me, you need to cut that off. And I'm like, I can't cut that relationship off. Yes, you do. And then the Lord, I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense. But then I realized the Lord was like, no, you need to stop putting so much investment into it and getting the same thing over and over and over again. It's like you're trying to take care of a cobra and it keeps biting you.
Yeah.
And it's like, at what point are you going to be like, okay, I'm done with cobra care?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm done with that. Yeah. And it's like, if they want to come to you, then they can come and they will respect your boundaries. They will respect who you are. They will respect what you like and don't like, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
Whether they agree with it or not. See, that's healthy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you know, go out and buy Boundaries, the book Boundaries.
Yes, I was just going to say, Boundaries
you know,
by
Boundaries are just like
Dr. Henry Cloud. It's an excellent book. It really helps you to even see in your life where you need to put boundaries up. And then if people are not respecting those boundaries, that really is a clear signal of a healthy or unhealthy relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I've known the Lord for like 23 and a half years now, and there are some beautiful, beautiful people that I have loved with all my heart that the Lord was like, that's coming to an end.
Yeah.
That's going to have to come to an end. And there's been some times where half the time it's not necessarily been oh, they're in sin or they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get married. And it's like that relationship isn't going to be what it is. So you need to cut off that expectation that you have that you're going to be hanging out with them all the time and buddy, you know. You need to cut that off.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying when you know when to cut it off.
Yeah.
What are we really saying? You got to know where the boundaries are.
Yeah.
And sometimes the boundaries are very, very small. Sometimes you can, it's like if your life is a house, sometimes you can only invite the person onto your front porch.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hang out with you on the front porch and we'll kick it on the front porch for about 5 minutes. But if you're going to continue to be an unhealthy part of my life, then you got to go.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just that's just the way it is. And there's a healthy way to do that by taking that relationship to the Lord. Yeah. And saying, God, is this a relationship you really want me? Throne Builders just came out with a video talking about that like a week ago. It wasn't like just, but I got to think in the future. But anyway, they just came out with a video about where they were talking about knowing when to, like how God might be severing some relationships. And I'm like, God does that. And some of those relationships are not relationships that you would think God would do. Yeah. But it's like, no, I love you. Me and you are in a relationship right now, and I am going to protect you from everything that's unhealthy if you will allow me to. Yeah. You know, if you'll let me, I will protect you from it. So, so a little know the difference between healthy and unhealthy relationships. Yeah. And sometimes you got to know when to cut it off.
Yeah.
You know?
And always go to the Lord asking Him about the relationships that are in your life and how He wants you to handle them. And yeah. So that's just kind of what we have for you today. I hope this is helpful. And just pray that you guys have learned how to have healthy relationships.
At least you get a good springboard.
Yeah, a little springboard.
There's so many books out there that do a way better job than what we just did.
but maybe even just kind of think about like the different relationships you have. Yeah. I'm sure the truth is, if you do have a relationship that really is unhealthy, I think it's probably one that comes immediately to your mind.
And you know what it is.
And you're just like, oh, this isn't good. And so
the Lord will help you to go through the difficult process. Because like I said, there's been relationships that I've had to cut off I had to cut off my own personal expectation. But then there's been relationships I had to cut off because they were just going a different way and it was not God's way and I wanted to go this way and it was just like they weren't going. It wasn't a season or reason for a season and all that stuff. No, it was just clearly like not good. Yeah. Where they were headed. Yeah. And God was like, you can't stay attached to them. Yeah. Look at where they're going. You can't do that. Yeah. You can't go there. You know, they're wanting to go to bars and drink, and now they're smoking, and now they're cussing, and now and it's like, it's not that you separate yourself from them because they're doing those things, but it's the heart that's leading them to do it. You know, you can have people, I've known people who know the Lord and they prophesy and they have a great relationship with the Lord, but they got some issues. They got some mouthiness and maybe they got a little bit of a smoke on the side there. And I'm just like, Lord, you're using them? You know? I'm like, what? And see, that's why humility is without judgment. Yeah. Because when you have pride, you will justify certain sins and be like, that's okay. That's healthy. No, it's still unhealthy. Unhealthy is unhealthy. Yeah. It doesn't matter. If you're reading God's definition, unhealthy is unhealthy. Yeah. You know, and it's like, but the bottom line is, you can have relationships that are difficult, that have to be severed, and God will help you through the process. You know, He really will, and it will not make it. It will not make it not difficult. It will just make it less difficult when God's there holding your hand, and helping you walk through it. Yeah. So don't be afraid to let go, because it's like that old that age-old proverb thing, where if you release this one thing, then God's gonna fill your other hands with something else that's gonna actually be good for you and healthy for you. So so guys, until next time, we will see you later. Yep, love you guys.
Bye.
See ya.